Not everyone will like them, but once you try them, you may fall in love. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Unpack It. They always say the sequel isn't as good as the original. Well, today, we're gonna find out if that's true, because we have the Sennheiser sequel to the venerable HD660S open back audiophile headphones. We've been waiting a long time for these. Luckily, we got them just before the long weekend. We gave them a good listen to, so now we're gonna tell you about it. All right, let's unpack this thing. All right, so right off the bat, I could tell on the original 660S, it was a hard shell cover. On this one, it's more of a soft pouch. It's easier for portability. Open it up like this. Put this to the side gently. And physically, not much changes other than bronze instead of silver lettering, but the majority of the changes are on the inside. The feel-wise, it's very comfy, very light. You know, it is a big headphone, I'll admit, but when I wear it, it feels like I'm wearing air. There, we have the metal mesh here for more airflow. Let's put these aside and let's look at the wires. But before we go into the wires, actually, let's look at more of the box. Here we have the quality certified. Check, check, and check. We'll put this aside. And then the instruction manual. I would usually throw it away, but I learned my lesson from last time. So we're actually gonna keep this in a safe place, just in case. Just in case. All right, and then at the bottom we have the wires. Take care of the box. Bye-bye. All right, so here are all the cables. The first one here is the 6.3mm or 1/4 inch plug. And here is the 4.4 balance cable. And here is the 6.3mm to 3.5mm adapter. All the cables are 1.8 meters and obviously detachable. So if these cables are a little too long for your liking, you could always just swap them out. And vice versa if you want a longer cable. The 660s actually came with a 3-meter cable, so these are actually much shorter. Okay, so physically, not much differences from the original model other than some bronze lettering, but let's still go over it. Comfort-wise, it's very squishy. The padding is like a Versace. No, I'm just joking, it's not Versace, but it feels really comfortable. When I wore it, it was basically weightless, so the fact that these are airbags makes it a very comfortable listening session. I can listen to loft, hip hop, chill beats all day, baby. And adjustment wise, I'll be honest, it could be a little easier to adjust these, but hey, no such thing as something perfect, right? All right, so let's focus on what's on the inside, the specs. One of the differences between the S2 and the S1 is the impedance of the 300 ohms versus 150 ohms. The headphone drivers or the transducer size is 38 millimeters, a tiny bit smaller than the S1, and the frequency response is 8 Hertz all the way up to 41,500 Hertz. Okay, you'd be forgiven if you didn't know that there's a lot of sound leakage in the open back headphones. But you probably would not be forgiven if you wore these in the library. Everyone would give you looks. Here's how they sound if you're sitting next to someone with open backs at the volume of a comfortable listening level. So we haven't changed any of the audio levels. This is what my voice sounds like now. Now from a gaming perspective, the open backs help you listening on footsteps because the open backs give you a wider sound escape depth to give you that slight advantage. However, there isn't a mic attached to it, so obviously you need an external mic setup. Like I mentioned, these are pretty large. So let me show you how they sit on my head. However, they're not tight on my head whatsoever. The foams are super soft and it almost feels weightless. While we can't test them for you, we can give you our first impressions. Our setup is with an iPhone listening with the lossless quality or higher on some of the tracks, and we are using a FIO Q3 DAC. So, for our first impressions, we gave everyone in office a try with their favorite song. Everyone, including me, was blown away with the vocals in particular. Taking a look at the frequency response graph from Sennheiser, it does seem a bit of an upgrade over the S1. So Myron took a listen on these, and his reaction to it was this scene from Ratatouille, but for his ears.
And something new was created.
He said he really appreciated hearing all the instruments and the notes in the Hell Freezes Over live version of Hotel California. Everyone praised the clarity of the vocals, and the mid-range is where the instruments shined. From my listening, I can hear that the treble is excellent, just like in the S1, but with some more clarity. The bass on the S2 is slightly more detailed than the S1. I feel like there's quite of a boost to the bass this time around. Sennheiser also has kicked up the sub-bass so you can hear more nuanced notes in the bass region. I also played some classical music, and you can hear the arrangement and the image where the sound came from. The soundstage is fantastically wide and deep. When playing any classical song, it felt like the sound was coming in from behind me and being surrounded by a 360 degrees all around. Interestingly, I played Speed Limit, A Night Ride by Ezio Bosa, and I can hear someone breathing in the recording with the S2s, whereas I couldn't hear with the other headphones. I think that's the technical evidence on how these headphones are really designed for critical listening. Hey, and if you don't believe me, play the song for yourself and tell us below in the comments at what section you heard the breathing. Okay. So these headphones are mostly for people who really enjoy a pure sound and is definitely catered towards more enthusiasts / audiophiles. Or you could just be someone trying to be more appreciative into listening. Not everyone will like them, but once you try them, you may fall in love. Thanks again for watching another episode of Unpack It. Let us know in the comments below if you're planning to buy one of these S2s. Thank you for watching again. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.